Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to talk about Anaconda Environments, and how to use Pycharm IDE with Anaconda Environments. I will also address, and this is the reason this video was made from the first place, I will address the problem of Pycharm not recognizing libraries, or more specifically, Pycharm throwing an error message, import error, DLL load failed. Okay, so let's start with Anaconda. So Anaconda, as I understand, okay, so first before this I'm going to say a disclaimer that I'm a Python beginner. I have only a few months experience, almost very little experience with Pycharm, and I didn't play much with Anaconda, so please be forgiving if I don't accurate with what I understand. I'm trying to do the best, and at the end I solved the problem that I will present here, so I hope it can help other beginners. So let's start with Anaconda. What is Anaconda? As I understand it, Anaconda is a software that manages Python and libraries. So for my purpose it's Python, but I believe it can manage other programming languages and their libraries. So Anaconda is also a distribution package that lets you install Python libraries, and some tools for working with Python. I should say Anaconda is probably more than that, meaning it is not just for Python, as I said before. But Python is my goal here. Now, you might have heard of Conda. As I understand, Conda is a package and environment manager. Package means libraries. Environments are having different versions of Python and libraries that are kind of separated from one another, and I will explain later. So Conda is a package, and Anaconda installs many packages. Conda is just one package of many. Now, we don't need it right now, so I just thought I should mention that. So first we need to install Anaconda. So just search Anaconda download in Google, and then you can download it. And sorry, this is not the one, this is the one. You go to download and you can download it. Now you have two ways to download it, two versions. One is one version of it's the same. I think it's the same version of Anaconda. Just here you can install Anaconda installs Python 3.7, and here it installs Python 2.7. Now this will be the default Python installation, and later I will show you how to use environments so you can install other Python versions. So I chose the Python 3.7 and downloaded it and installed it. Just use the default installation. I changed only the destination installation folder, but that's it. So after installing Anaconda, you can access it using Anaconda Navigator, which is a GUI that is really nice. And Anaconda comes with many tools. I'm not going to talk about these tools much, only these two, that Jupyter Notebook and Spider. Now Jupyter Notebook is kind of an IDE, maybe it's an IDE. Users, you can in the comments you can correct me if you want. I'm not sure. It's very readable, and that's the strength of it, as I understand. But I don't use it much. Well, I used it, but it's not comfortable for me because I'm used to working with IDEs that have visual breakpoints. And Jupyter, I didn't see this feature inside, so it's kind of what made me think to use another IDE. Spider, if I remember correctly, it has this one, but I read a lot of good stuff about Pycharm and I decided to try it out. So what we care about is that now is environments. So environments are kind of to separate installation of different libraries or different versions of Python. And Anaconda by default installed Python 3.7 because that's what I chose. And the environment name for that is base or root. And here in the right window you can see all the libraries that are installed in that environment. So Anaconda installed all these libraries with it. And these are very useful libraries for data scientists. And now this is the root environment. Now I said before that we can install other libraries or other environments. Sorry, it's environments. So first, why would we need environments from the first place? Imagine that you want to work with Python. Now the root is Python 3.7 because that's what we downloaded before and installed. But suppose you want to install Python 2.7. So what you need to do is just create a new environment and call it Python 2.7. You can give it another name, it doesn't matter. And you need to choose which Python are you going to install. And it will install that. And then you do create. Now, the thing is that, not the thing, the reason why you would need the environment is you install now Python 2.7. That's great. So you don't want to mess it up with the already installed Python 3.7. So Anaconda lets you separate those by using environments. Environments also, I will show you later that they are separated also with the folders in the hard drive. So in my case, I wanted to install Opencv, which is a library for computer vision. And I wrote Python 3.7 because I chose to install the Opencv library in Windows 3.7. But I didn't want to mess it up with the base installation because let's say in general that there might be libraries or packages that rely on other libraries with older versions than your default one. So I didn't want to cause a problem to the base installation of Python 3.7 because all the versions are probably mostly updated. And if I install Opencv, I'm not sure, but I think it might use, well, it needs to use specific versions of other libraries. So I don't want to override the versions I already have, which are probably the latest ones. That's why I decided to separate those, and I think it's a good practice. So what I did is so I installed Opencv Python 3.7 by doing create. I gave it a name and I decided to use the Python 3.7 and then made a create. And if I want to see the libraries installed in there, I just press it here. And then it shows me all the packages installed. Now, if you look up here, you can see that you can also choose not installed. And why I'm saying that? Because after I created this Opencv Python 3.7, it's only a name. and it's actually installed only Python 3.7. But then I wanted to install Opencv. So one way of doing that was to go to the not installed stuff and search here Opencv. Now you don't see it in this list because it is already installed, But if it wasn't, then you would see it here, Opencv, and you will see the version. And that's what I chose to install, and installed it. So now I have in this environment Python 3.7 and the Opencv library, which has a lot of other libraries dependency. Okay, so enough said about that. Now question arises, where the location of the folders or files in the hard drive. So, and you will need it later. So let's do it. I installed the Anaconda in program files here, Anaconda 3. That's the root location. And you can see here there is also the Python execute file. Now, any environment is installed inside the envs folder, which stands for, I think, in environments. And here, don't ignore this one. What you saw earlier is this environment, Opencv Python 3.7, and when you go inside, we can see here all the libraries and files, and also see here the Python execute file. So remember that that's how we find the location, because we will need it later. Okay, so we finished with Anaconda now, and we are going to talk about Pycharm. So see you then.